What's going on, people? This is the Foureva podcast, where we talk about business and some things that are personal, because business is personal.
There is.
But today, it's all personal.
It's very personal. Especially some topics for you, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
As we're diving into 2021 E3 reactions.
Yes.
As we're diving into this, and we're just going to do more of the highlights. So there was a lot of things that were mentioned in E3. This is really rapid fire.
Yep.
I'm your host, Jamar Jones, owner of Foureva Media, and also I'm a speaker and an author. And in probably about 2 weeks or a week and a half, Change Your Circle, Change Your Life. And we also have Kroll.
Yep. Kroll, live race media, lifetime, owner of all those things, Kroll. So, yeah, absolutely.
Mad scientists, architects.
Absolutely. Looking forward to talking about these predictions. There's a lot at E3, but we're going to focus specifically on Xbox and Nintendo. The big conferences go down the list. We'll start the clock. I think we're just going to get started here. So
let's go for it.
Yeah. First things first, Microsoft. They came out swinging. I was really excited to see what they had to show us, and I think they delivered. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100% delivered. I thought it was the best show out of all the ones that I saw. And they came out swinging right away.
Yeah.
And I just also felt like it was very compelling, every single thing that we watched.
Yep.
You know, like it wasn't any fluff. I mean, there was some fluff, but
yeah, I debate that a little bit. There were a few that seemed like they were a bit too long.
Yeah, but for the most part, it was like, okay, we're getting some real good footage here and some updates of games we've been waiting for.
Yeah, and we're absolutely not even have time to even go through every one of their announcements. We're just going to hit on the big ones.
Yep, just the highlights.
All right, well, then let's go to the first one then, and that is Starfield. Bethesda joins the Xbox group. They've been talking about this game. They mentioned that it is a Xbox PC exclusive.
Yes.
PlayStation's not getting a
huge
taste. Yeah. They show a very impressive graphical trailer. They give a release date of 11/11/22, which is meaningful in the fact that I believe it's 10 years since Skyrim.
Okay.
There's definitely a link to that.
There.
What'd you think of it?
I thought it was good. Not much they showed,
Yeah.
except for a cinematic.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's Skyrim in space.
it sounds cool.
Yes. Yeah.
Hopefully they can pull it off.
I think it does.
And really do. I mean, I just feel like fans have really been waiting for this one for a long time, and they got to. Now, the most interesting part of what you said was about the exclusive.
Right.
And this coming to Game Pass.
Yeah.
I mean,
Day one, man. Yeah.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Nice one, Microsoft.
Yep.
That was solid.
Absolutely. I really hope that it's very mysterious, that it's a slow burn. You discover a lot when you play it. Yeah. I've seen a lot of debate about how other games like Mass Effect kind of create the world for you already and you just jump into it, whereas this game is a lot more about you discover and kind of get a feel for it as you go. Not a lot's established, so hopefully that freedom comes with it.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
Very much. And then there's a funny side note, but I was listening to a podcast the other day where they said, and hopefully the planets have different gravity. Apparently it's a big thing that there's a lot of games that you go on the planets, they all just feel the same.
It's all the same feeling.
Yeah.
That's good.
I thought that's kind of a funny aside. All right, and then after Starfield and that, they moved on to Stalker 2. Which, just seemed like a campfire simulator. No, I'm just kidding. It was fantastic. There's a lot of mystery. The graphics look amazing on it. I wasn't totally wild about the presentation, how they packaged it and showed it, but certainly when they cut to some of the clips where they were, I'm going to say using the PKE reader, because it looked like a Ghostbuster reader, and I'm probably insulting a lot of people who are going to be very upset. But I mean, but the idea of what it is and how they could twist it, I think is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, graphics look great. As somebody that doesn't know too much about Stalker, I just saw it as not really.
Okay. All right.
Not really. Yeah. I was just so honed in on that campfire that I'm like, what are they talking about? And then every once in a while they go off to a scene and I'm like, oh, I want to know more about this.
Right.
Not about people sitting around. I know they're trying to prep the story and maybe give some little hints on stuff, but it was just mundane for me.
But the fact that it's, we're looking at Game Pass, it's something you can try out anyways. Is it at least interesting enough that you're going to try it?
I'll probably try it out.
Yeah. And I think games like this, that's how they benefit.
Yeah.
Because you're going to try it because it looks good enough.
Yeah.
And then you'll get into it and maybe go, oh, this is actually something I'm glad I had the opportunity to to try.
Yeah, for sure.
So that might pay off for him. So we'll see. A 2022 release as well. So next we had a little bit of an update here at Sea of Thieves. The whole Jack Sparrow.
I love how they keep going at this. Like they are really trying to.
The base keeps growing. I mean, people still keep playing this, and I think it continues to look fun. However, this particular character depiction of him and the graphics, I don't think it looks good at all. I just looked at this and I thought this looks terrible.
Yeah.
Just my own personal opinion. I get it. They've got a style they got to keep to, and this is kind of keeping to that style. And they probably need to graphically target Xbox One, their old base, right? So
how many people are really excited about this? That's what I kind of like. I'm like, I know Jack Sparrow, just the fan base of Pirates of the Caribbean. I know it's big.
Yeah.
But it's just like, did he really need to be in here? Is that really the spice that this game needs to really like shoot it over the moon? Like I just don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just wasn't sold on it. And I mean, the idea of like the whole pirates thing, I mean, there are like very avid fans of just like being a pirate, taking over ships, just being in that whole world.
All those pirate fans.
Yeah, all the pirate fans.
We doing it for that. I don't think real pirate fans, like real pirate fans, are necessarily playing this.
You don't think so?
I think this is much more about co-op and having fun with friends and doing something and having kind of this world you can be in.
It's 50-50.
All right.
Because when the Assassin's Creed one, Black Flag, came out, that was like people were like, oh my God, I can actually drive the ship. I can attack people and really get into this. Sure. Definitely a different, visual style, for this. But I definitely, have you ever played Sea of Thieves? Have you tried it out?
Yeah.
What did you think about it?
It was fine. It didn't hold my
interest.
Your initial, and I didn't have the friend group that said, we all want to really devote time to this. So I think that's the problem. You need that group of people that really wants to just keep playing this and joke around with it and have a good time with it. Then I think it's great.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that and they're playing other games like Halo or Smash Ultimate or something else, then
we gonna get into Halo.
This isn't gonna draw it in. That's just part of it. So all right, we've talked enough about this. Psychonauts 2.
You could probably talk about this. I don't know much about Psychonauts.
So Psychonauts is a game that originally came out on OG Xbox. Tim Schafer was heavily involved in it. Double Fine. The game was one of these cult hits that people really like. Some people think it's overrated. Some people not. I have recently played it for the first time. I love what I'm playing so far. I think it's really well done. The art style is kind of a turnoff originally. I thought this is kind of too quirky and Nickelodeon for me.
Okay.
But actually, I got into it. I thought this is really well written. Tim Schafer is always a genius. The stuff he writes and what I love what he does. And the fact that this game is coming out really soon and has all the same beats, it looks really good. I'm very excited about it.
Wasn't this like a very, very soon release? I thought it was, this year.
Yep, August.
August 25th.
And this started as a Kickstarter. It is coming to all platforms. It is not just, it's coming to PlayStation, even though they own it. However, it's day one Game Pass.
Okay.
So
see, I would check. I think I would check it out. Though.
You should.
Once again,
I absolutely think this game is worth checking out. I think there's a lot to love here. The story's going to be fantastic. There's a lot of good plot points, interesting things about it that are worth checking out. You go into the brain or the mind of people. They get manipulated. Then things change. It's very creative. Okay. So
I would totally check it out.
All right. So next, Halo. So Halo Infinite did two things at this conference. One is they tried to give a little bit more of a teaser into the single player.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that really succeeded in doing anything.
No.
It showed that they at least had an idea of what the plot's going to be.
Yeah.
They, hey, we have a story. Really, we're going to keep this Cortana thing continuing. We're going to do something about this.
Yeah, they did mention some things about that.
But what was really interesting is they showed the same shot. It looked like the same shot from the same place where they were raising from the original demo last year.
Yeah.
It didn't look that much better. Right. That I thought, wow, they've really improved this over the last year.
Yeah.
And what's funny is I was looking at it and going, are those clouds going to pop in this time? Am I going to see pop in? And I really looked close and it looked better. They did a little bit more about that. But I mean, that is the minimal, right? So I don't know. It's fine. I think the plot's going to be great. I'm excited about where they're going to head with it. Yeah. It's so much better than, here's Master Chief and four other people that we've never seen before, and two teams and no plot and a marketing campaign that doesn't line up with what the plot's going to be this time.
Yeah.
Like all of that is not there. So I just think there's no way it's going to be worse than what they did with Halo 5.
Yeah.
So great. But they really did focus on the multiplayer.
But this is what I was excited for.
Yeah.
Was the multiplayer, because getting that in like a Warzone type game style, and that gameplay looked good. Yeah. I mean, I just got to see what does it actually, feel like when you're actually playing it. But just the, moving around the terrain, all of the vehicles and all that stuff, like just looked absolutely, stunning. I just wonder, do we know how many people can actually play in a match? Is it like 100, 120, 150?
No.
Or is it less than that?
So what's really interesting about it is that they are absolutely making sure that people understand this is not a battle royale. And I think that's smart, because ultimately they're not trying to compete with Warzone or Fortnite, right? Or Apex Legends.
Yeah.
They have their own unique niche here, and they're going to drive into it.
Gotcha.
Now, big team battle, they're getting larger. Like I think they're experimenting. There was just an article about recently, I believe in IGN, how they were talking about how they're testing out the waters if they can go to 40 or 60, if they can do big team battle type scenarios,
that would be sweet.
Even in Master Chief Collection. So they're going to get into that. But But I think ultimately they're trying not to make this into battle royale. They are trying to keep to their roots, and I think that's a very good thing.
Yeah.
People were very impressed with what it looked like graphically, how it played, what their season pass was going to look like, how they never expire. Season passes never expire.
Yep.
So I think that's really excellent. And people are very excited about it.
This is their home run right here.
Yeah. And it's free to play. Anyone can play it, right? If you have an Xbox, you got a PC.
Free to play.
Yeah. And I think they're really going to push into the streaming. They've already touched on it, and I'll mention this in a minute with Flight Simulator, but they're already realizing, hey, if we can't give you a next-gen game that you can play on your old hardware, we'll stream it to you instead. So I think that's going to be a piece of perhaps this in the future too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I'm
looking forward to it. The only scary thing is they didn't give a release date. They just said holiday. And everything else, they're giving release dates this year. It doesn't make you feel, I don't feel good about it.
I don't feel good. Anytime a game that doesn't give a release date and just like a seasonal thing, I'm like, is it really coming out, or are they going to push it again?
I hope that they really get this holiday. There are some rumors they might split it up.
Yeah.
Where they might say, hey, the multiplayer will come first, and then we'll do the campaign later. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll
have to see.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
Maybe
I'm excited about this one.
Maybe do a little switcheroo and say, oh, the campaign, that's great, but that's only going to be on the next gen.
Oh.
I'm just speculating. I hope that's
interesting.
Anything else on Halo?
Just can't wait.
All right. So Flight Simulator.
Yeah. This one looked beautiful.
It's incredibly good.
Beautiful.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
I would actually check this out. And I wonder, can you fly actually around anywhere in the world?
Yes. Yes. The answer to that is yes. And the fact that they've got it running on a console and it's going to come out so soon is really exciting.
Yeah.
It's only for next gen. So if you have a regular Xbox One, you will not be able to play this. However, they have hinted the fact that they will give, this is part of their xCloud.
Yeah.
Right? So if you've got Game Pass, but you don't have the next hardware, we'll let you stream it.
Okay.
And this isn't really like a Twitch shooter or anything. So I think you can get a lot of enjoyment by streaming it. So hopefully that will be a good segue into.
I'm excited to check that out for sure. And
Yeah.
once again,
Me
Game
too.
Pass for the win.
Yeah.
I mean, would I pay $60 for it?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Would I check it out on Game Pass and put a few hours into it? And if I really like it, keep going?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
100%.
I think there's a lot of just casual enjoyment with this game.
Yeah.
Forza Horizon 5.
This is another big one for them.
So this was a bit of a surprise because they had talked about the next Forza Motorsport last year.
Yeah.
And that's still being worked on. That's next gen. But this is coming out this year, and it looks, the photorealism, it's set in Mexico, it looks incredible.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, the graphic, I thought that some of it actually was an actual photo.
You're ready.
You
You're
know,
ready to go.
Like, come on!
You just get out, let's go.
I mean, I was like, this looks incredible. Probably one of the most advanced graphical things I've ever seen.
Yes.
And this was being streamed. So imagine it actually like on your TV, you know, with the blacks and everything just popping out and just like super ultra HD and, can't wait.
Yeah. This is going to be fantastic. And this is going to be a real showpiece for the next gen.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. And again, another day one. Because right away, you have it. The multiplayer is good.
I was gonna say the big multiplayer
Yeah.
component, because you got cars flying in. You can sync up quick and then just do a mini game.
Yeah.
I think they'll do like event things. I think that was mentioned as
Yeah,
well.
all the Horizon tend to be around an event.
Yes.
And they'll do different types of activities and things all around the area.
Yeah.
So, hopefully it'll just knock out of the park and it'll be fantastic.
And the release date for that one was
November.
Yeah, this year.
So, yep, we'll see it before the year's out. And I have all the faith in the world that it'll meet that date. All right, and then the final thing was Redfall. All we saw was a very large cinematic trailer, CGI, no real gameplay. Just here's conceptually what this is about, how it feels.
I was confused. I was really confused when I saw this, because I'm like, I just don't what is it? I'm just like, I don't. Okay,
it's shooting vampires, man.
But it's like realistic kind of, or not realistic, futuristic guns, and and I'm like, what time period? I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't get. I know it's like, I think cinematics need to solve the problem or the question.
Yeah.
Of like setting the stage of what it is, because if you're not gonna show any gameplay,
right,
then we're just looking at story and just concept and build,
right.
So, but I'm confused on that. I just was like, is this like a Overwatch, type style, but with vampires, or is it story based? Is it, is it 4-player? I'm like, what is it?
There's a lot of questions. I mean, you assume that's going to be like a 4-player co-op type adventure thing.
Yeah.
But then they stylistically like show you the aftermath, and they're like 10 minutes earlier, then earlier, and they kept doing it. And I get that was kind of the style of how they present it, but I don't know. I don't necessarily think it landed so great.
I don't think it landed
I'm interested
too
in
much.
it. I'll see where it goes. But I want to see gameplay, and I want to understand what the mechanics of it. What's the game loop look like?
Yeah, for sure.
Is this something that me and my friends are going to get into and build? Is this going to be like Diablo? Is this going to be a first-person shooter? Is this going to be a...
They didn't solve any of that.
Right. This is just conceptual. What could it be?
If I don't know what to be excited about, then I just lose all interest. You got to at least come on, guys. If you do a trailer that at least gets us excited and know why we're excited. What am I just? I love vampires so much, so I just gotta play.
Into the vampire.
I gotta play it.
Yeah. Well, you don't have Castlevania anymore, so you got to get something new, right? Speaking of being excited about something, though, Nintendo is next.
Oh yeah.
So Nintendo comes in right away. Regular type press conference, all streaming, right? Nothing live or anything. And then right away shows us this fantastic clip of Ganon being thrown off a cliff. And here we are. Tekken's in Smash.
My boy. I really like Jin, honestly. Jin's one of my favorite.
Yeah.
But Kazuya, first of all, I was shocked by this. We're both avid Smash players.
Yeah. Yep.
So, we're looking for any hint of who the next character is. And I don't think anybody really knew this was coming.
No one really talked Tekken. I mean, people liked it, but they really thought of the things, especially since we're down to the final 2.
Yeah.
And now the final 1, right?
God,
Tekken has a slot. Yeah, I know. We can talk about that for a while. Yeah. But Kazuya was not necessarily the favorite going into this, and people thought that was going to be what we were going to get.
Yes.
So I'm really not much of a... I'm not a study in Tekken.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to say I'm a fan, because I really haven't given it a shot one way or the other. It's not like I've played Tekken and thought this is good or bad.
I played every single Tekken. And I would say that I'm super excited for this character in particular. I know he can go into the devil Kazuya.
Right.
The devil mode.
Yeah.
I know you were texting me the other day. It's funny because the story and the lore of it is actually not something that's like too complicated. It's just basically they got family issues and they're throwing each other off.
Devil
off
gene.
the ledge.
Yeah, the first one's like the father says, well, I got this kid, and if I throw him off the ledge and he dies, well, then he wasn't the devil.
Yeah, then he wasn't.
And if he comes back, then he was the devil. And I'm like, that's the worst parenting ever. And then
but that's the whole game, and every single Tekken.
Oh, then the second one is then the father wins and it throws him off the cliff. I'm like, are you?
Yep.
This
and
is really the plot. I know they keep throwing off the cliff. There's a good YouTube video where they're just like all the cliff throws, and they show all the different endings of every one of them. And I like, how many times can you guys do this?
as many times as it works.
How many volcanoes and cliffs and helicopters can we get going here?
Yeah.
But
I've loved Tekken more for the game style and then like the uniqueness of all the different characters that are in the game.
Sure.
You know, because later on, after about, you know, the second Tekken, then they started to really diversify a lot of the characters.
Yeah, they had like a dinosaur in there.
Yeah, they had dinosaur. They got a panda. They got all types of different characters. I was excited for this one because I did like his play style.
Yeah.
I would say just on the Smash related thing, if they have his actual combos.
Yeah.
In the game,
they will. They'll absolutely. They've done it for everyone else. They're going to do it.
I will love that. And the part that they have a 10-hit combo in there, it's going to suck for whoever I'm facing. Because he's going to get hit in a 10-hit combo. He's like, this is ridiculous.
You're going to have to pull it off though.
There it is. Yeah, that's why. And I'm really interested on the mechanics of this character. So I can't wait. I know that next week they're going to have an actual live stream on more of the play style. And, you know, hopefully they just drop the character. Super excited about this one. I'm just hoping this is another speculation thing that they do just an Echo fighter with Jin. Because he also had the devil gene. And I don't know if they, you know, because they're getting close. This is the second to the last. Are they going to drop a, you know?
Yeah. Well, usually though, if they have an Echo, they'll announce it with it.
Okay.
So I think they'll probably do some costumes that might be a nod, but that's probably what you're going to get.
Okay.
Don't forget, we got Mii Fighters. We have to get to Mario Party Superstars.
Yeah, they're adding on to it.
Well, they're not adding on to it. They're saying, we did Super Mario Party, and yeah, that was great, but then it used motion controls and blah, blah, blah. Let's go back to the well of all the old past Mario parties that were good and pick the best parts and make it into a party game and do it online. And I think it's fantastic. I think a lot of people who are fans of this, this is probably more of what they wanted than Super Mario Party was.
Yeah.
So I think this is great. I'll probably do really well. I'll check it out.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out for sure. I mean, mini games, playing with, you know, friends, all that, and it releases October 29th. So relatively soon.
Get right into the holidays. Holiday spirit with Mario Party. Speaking of a holiday release and a little bit of a shocker, the next big one, Metroid Dread. So this game was kind of on and off for production for 10, 20, like forever. It was rumored at certain points, then it died away, then it came back, then it died away. Who knows what aspects of it actually are this now and what didn't get in the cutting room floor, but it's a fascinating development cycle to get to this point. This is meant to be the sequel to Metroid Fusion, which was the GBA game that came out around the same time as Metroid Prime did. I didn't think Nintendo necessarily had a lot of faith that 3D might work, so they did a 2-for-1 when they did that. They did Metroid Prime in 3D, and they did a 2D Metroid Fusion. And I think Metroid Prime was just incredible success for them. And Fusion was okay. It felt much more linear. It didn't feel as good. So I think going into this, when I saw this announced, I thought, this is great. But it better have exploratory aspects. I don't want it to be pigeonholed like Fusion was, where it was very plot, go here, then go here, then go here, then finish. I want it to be, where's my open-ended, you know, map showing me I can go a lot of different places and explore.
Because I know there's a lot of back and forth, right, in the Metroid games. You know, there's a lot of back and forth.
There's a lot of find this,
cover
unlock
tracks.
that.
Okay.
You know, and there's always that balance of making sure it's not too much, so it doesn't feel. But
go all the way back over there.
But the right amount of it is usually a staple of what Metroid is.
But this looked good. Like I, honestly, like the visuals. I'm glad they showed some gameplay. Like, it looked good.
I thought I was worried in the presentation, but Nintendo does something called the Treehouse afterwards, where they play it. And I watched a 30-minute on this that was playable, and they showed it, and it looked great. It looked like everything I wanted. It was fast-paced, it was fluid. I was really excited about this. I can't wait to see more about it.
For sure.
I hope probably not too much, though, because I don't want it spoiled, because I mean, half of this game is figuring out what it's about. I think it's supposed to wrap up the whole Metroid thing. So I don't know what that means, but we'll see. But yeah.
When's Nintendo coming out with the Nintendo Pass?
Never.
On to the next.
But what they are coming out with is WarioWare.
Be ready.
A new WarioWare. Yeah. Nintendo ain't giving away anything.
I looked at this. I mean, no. I wasn't excited. I love Wario. And I wasn't excited. It just not this ridiculousness of Wario.
WarioWare is a I like WarioWare for what it is, which is a whole bunch of really fast, fun mini games. It's a party game. If you got the right people, you know, If you don't, then you move on.
Then you move on.
But the mini games I think will be good. I think this will be a good one to keep an eye on. I'm a little afraid they might use too much motion control or whatever. Maybe they will, maybe they won't.
Yeah.
Just give me controllers and buttons and mini games.
Yeah.
I don't want the Waggle Wario versions. I just want
totally
the old
agree.
school stuff. So,
I'm sorry.
Mario plus Rabbids.
Plus the rabbits.
Some Rabbids.
Sparks of hope.
I'm personally much more interested, and we're not going to gloss over this and not talk about it very much because we just for time. But I'm actually more interested in Advance Wars than I am about Rabbids, just because I like that as more of a pure strategy.
Yeah.
But this game has the mind share of people right now. A lot of people really like this. They liked what they did with the original Rabbids. I think a sequel just makes sense.
Yeah.
Ubisoft obviously.
Why these rabbits? I just don't get it.
French. I don't know. I don't get it myself. It's not something I'm particularly interested in, though I do like the idea of a strategy game. I think
those
that's
strategy
a creative
games
idea.
do really well.
So,
especially if you attach things that people know. I mean, it could do really good.
Then they ended off with
Here we go.
Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
And I took this screenshot specifically because they showed a very quick video. But if you watch the analysis of them breaking it down, there were so many things they sort of revealed. Like, look at this. Here's Link, but his arm is mechanical.
Oh, yeah.
And his hair's longer. And he's got, tattoos?
Yeah.
So what is this? What's going on?
What's going on with Link?
They won't even tell us the name, the subtitle of the name, because they don't want to give it away. They said there's something in the name that's going to give away what's going on here.
Wow.
So this is very deep. So, it looked great. I'm excited about what it is, but they've really not given much more about what it actually is yet.
Yeah.
So I
do you think this is a win though for them? Like, I know showing off something, revealing it, giving people hope, that it's coming.
Yeah.
But is it so deep and where they like a lot of people will miss the point until you said all that?
Yeah.
I mean, I was kind of like, I wish I could have seen more.
Yeah.
Clouds.
It's in the sky.
Clouds.
Right. They're going to raise up a whole bunch of stuff. And then there's also going to be, what happens with everything that's currently, how much are they going to change what we already know?
Yeah.
There's still a lot of mystery behind it.
A lot of mystery.
But that's Zelda. It's always been that way. They've always been super guarded until the last possible moment. We'll see.
When does it come out?
2022 is what they say. That's what they say. It's February 23, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll show it at E3. It'll be a little bit delayed. Maybe I'll be wrong. Who knows? They also Switch Pro and the hardware.
Yeah,
they didn't talk about that at all. But there's a part of me that just feels like this is going to coincide with that somehow.
Yeah.
So we gotta deal with that.
They'll probably align that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anything else about? Yeah, they didn't announce the hardware. Switches are still selling, so why do it?
Right.
And I honestly think I know we didn't kind of give our total on the Nintendo. I think they did a really good job as far as for the most part. I mean, they had a lot of good announcements that were there.
Yeah.
And so I think that the one that I liked the best was Microsoft with Xbox.
Yeah.
That I feel like that was a home run.
Yeah.
Then Nintendo and everything else is
There were so many bad press conferences. Just don't do them. Just don't do them. Capcom didn't have anything to say. I mean, I don't know why they even bother.
Yeah.
But I guess you get mind share and you can just
was
remind
just-
people,
oh
by the
my
way, we're
God,
still
Capcom
here.
was-
Remember that Resident Evil we just came out with? That's fine.
Square.
Yeah.
Forgettable.
Yeah.
Chaos. I know that.
That's all people remember about that whole press conference is that they have an action version of Final Fantasy. And the guy needs to get chaos.
Yeah.
And just like it doesn't make.
Oh, and Guardians of the Galaxy. That was another kind of really big announcement.
Yeah. Avengers.
Guardians of the Galaxy. That was a new game. That was a new game.
I know.
They had
I'm
there,
surprised they're not pouring everything into their
Yeah.
Avengers game, but
They should. They should.
They're not. They're already breaking away from it.
But I know that they're breaking away.
Well, I mean, they're doing Black Panther,
Well,
but I'm
yeah.
saying like it's not making the money they thought it would.
No, that's true.
So they have to
They're
move on.
losing a lot of money.
They're not.
on
They're
it,
not going to
so-
keep investing into it. It's it's done. It's over. Enjoy Black
Sad.
Panther because I think.
It's sad.
Yeah. So I think wrapping up,
Yeah.
Microsoft made the biggest impact because they've just been so struggling over the last several years to show exclusives, to show what all of these
To have
studios
games,
have
you
been
know?
doing. Game Pass is such a big,
Yeah.
drive into what they're doing and giving people, these games and streaming and xCloud. They just came with everything. And the fact that Sony wasn't there this year also is tough because there's no counter to it.
Yeah.
Microsoft gets a stage and no one counters it.
Yeah.
There's rumors that Sony's going to come out with something a little bit later, and if they do, then that will be their counter, some state of play or something. They need it. They absolutely need it because right now Microsoft is stealing all the mind share, is looking really good. And Nintendo did a fantastic job too. They're graphically not going to compete on this level, so they got to show creative things, their own properties, and why people should care. And I think they did a decent job of doing that.
Yeah.
So I think that's great. Overall, it's not E3 2001 like this hat.
Keep that.
The hat keeps going. But I mean, it was a fantastic E3 overall. I think it's one of the best ones Microsoft has ever done.
Yes.
I think Nintendo came out strong too. Generally speaking, the fact that we didn't have a live show and that we had to kind of watch it the way we did, I think these guys did a good job. And can't wait to see what happens next.
Yeah, I was. I totally agree with everything that you said. I would just like to leave it on a fun note.
Yeah.
That Razer should hire a different presenter.
Yeah.
Because they tanked.
Yeah. Well,
But overall,
did you watch the Verizon conference?
No, I didn't watch the Verizon conference.
Yeah. I mean, you should do that. Actually, you shouldn't. I think you're good.
But overall, it was good. Can't wait till next year to see what they got going on, all the new announcements. Next podcast topic, who knows? Who knows what we're going to be going
How
getting
terrible
into.
Tekken is in Smash.
Well, definitely we got to have a Smash podcast. I think we'll definitely talk about that at some point. I know we're going to be diving into some website, gamification, development type things as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll definitely dive into that. But yeah, by the way, Sully Soaps makes custom soaps. If you're listening on audio, check out the website, sullysoaps.com. But these are some custom soaps that we got in the works right now.
They're beautiful.
Beautiful. Any company can definitely take advantage of a great gift or for employees. But I just had to showcase these because they're just too cool not to. Like, look at this. It's like the perfect gift for something, and also to showcase your brand. So if you're ever interested, Sully Soaps. But that's the wrap up. Until the next episode. Peace.
Right. Thank you.